In this session, we will be discussing about plotting drawings and its peripheral controls. Initially, we will be looking into plotter specification and how to plot drawings, and then how to associate with plotter configuration files. So, plotting drawing in AutoCAD is very fundamental, and you have the primary requirement. So, initially when you go for plot, you will get a dialog box like this. For example, if this is the drawing and this is the border, and you go for plot, then you get this dialog box. So here you will be configuring your plotter. So whatever the plotter you need to configure, that is very important. Then you have to set the paper size which you are requiring, maybe A4. Then what to plot, you have to configure here the window. So this to this I am requiring to plot it, and number of copies and fit to paper, and then you can see the preview. So this is the preview which you will get after taking the printouts or you plot it. So this is the default interface which you see. So here you have the page setup areas, you have the properties, that is the plotter, paper size, number of copies, plot area, display, limit or view, extend, this all, and you have the plot offset, plot scale areas, and the quality like the shade or wireframes or in which type, and you have the other options like you can hide the paper space as well. And then when you go for OK, then you will be directed to this particular options. So in this way you can directly get your final output. If you can see this particular options for controlling, directly you can find it here. You can increase this command options. Here you can control the shared plot as displayed, whatever you are seeing it, or in a hidden wireframes, shaded. If you have a 3D, this couple of options you can use, or you can use as displayed in measure of the most of the cases. Quality, the draft quality just for preview or print, or normal, maximum with the best qualities, that you can see the DPI. With the presentation, with the previews 75, or with the draft you have the DPI very low rate. Just like that, you can also set here center the plot, and different ways are there. If you go for the extend, it will fit and it will show you with a fitted extend. Let us say this is the particular object, and I will go for plot, and I will go for limits, and if you see the limits with the particular plotter smart learning, if you see the preview, whatever the limit you have set, based on that the plotter configuration will be done. Limit is basically whatever the paper space you have done, that you can set through lim max, and you can see it 12 by 9. So 12 by 9 will be displayed. So you can see the length here also, dimension linear, this is 8, so 12 will be little bit bigger. So when you go for plot, wherever it is, the size is like this, it picks the limit, and whatever the size you may be given, and with the configuration it will show you with that limit only. So this is the 12 by 8 point something that you can configure. Just like that you can have your window, and when you go for window you can set the areas which you would like to print, and you can see the preview, that areas will be plotted. So these are the various options which you can control, and other than that the configuration also you can map to a plot file, so that you can save it. And other than that, the page setup you can also add or import. If you go for add a page setup, you can give the name, and whatever the settings you save it under this, you configure it, all this will be mapped to this. And also you can have the plotter setups, whatever the source and size is supporting, that you can view it, and also you can set it. In this way you can map and do it. and control the plotter properties. And finally, after doing all this, you can map this and you can send to the plotter by pressing OK. And in case of a plotter manager, what you can do is you can add a plotter wizard and you can configure a new plotter. So you can set the plotter manager through a regular process. You can add a plotter wizard. You can go to the output and you can set the plotter manager. You can go to the output and you can set the plotter manager. Once you go to the plotter manager, here you can see the smart learning. Just like that, you can go to a add plotter wizard, go to next. From the my computer, all the data will be configured. Then you have to select the manufacturer for which the plotter you are configuring. You may select HP and its particular model. Once you select a particular model, you can go to next, next, and default port configurations for the plotter, and you can see the plotter name. You are going for test and finish. In this way, this is the plotter configuration with PC3 extension, and you can reuse it time and again. Just like that, you can check the properties of the plotter and you can get the details informations about that. For example, if you go to plotter manager and you go to right click and properties, here you have the details. AutoCAD plotter configuration file and its details. And you can go for the view details and all the errors which will be listed, that also can be shown here during the printing. And these are the default operations, and you can see the page setup manager also, where you can configure the different page setup and you can modify and you can configure to other plotters, and you can map the paper size, maybe A0 or A1 or A4, whatever you are looking for, and you can go for OK. So this will be configured with that particular properties. In this way, you can directly configure and do the smart configuration. This already I have shown. So just like that, quickly and repeatedly you can do the plotting by using the page setup manager, by using layout, windows, limit and extent, and you can do with the scalings as per your requirement. You can have the paper to model scales and you can do your printing. Thank you.